What's going on, guys? Welcome back once again. It is me, MOLT, with another Real Talk. If you guys don't know what this series is, it's kind of a series where I come and try and give you guys a place to where you can talk about things. You know, the internet's full of just negativity, and so many people just don't care about other people as human beings. They hide behind their screen names to say really rude, mean things, and it's kind of a shelter for them to be mean by hiding, again, behind their screen name. But what I want to do is kind of try and create a place where people can hide behind their screen names but talk about stuff that they don't have anyone to talk about, you know? So often we keep things inside that aren't good, and getting them out really helps a lot. You know, it helps us feel a lot better. And sorry, I saw a reflection in the lens and it freaked me out. We so often just keep things inside and we don't talk about them, and I want to kind of create a place like that. So first of all, if you guys have any questions down below, comment them, and if you see one that's similar to yours, leave a like on it. That way I can see the questions that most people are asking. But again, guys, comment down below, try and support each other. Again, I want to try and make like a somewhat safe place for people to just talk about things and to hide behind their screen names in order to say things that are hard for them. And there's going to be fake comments down below because there are trolls and there are people that think that they're funny when they're not and they don't take things seriously. But besides that, again, I just want a place where you guys can do that. So this first question, someone said, they said they're dealing with depression, they're not knowing where to go in life, they don't have too many friends. Guys, I've been there before where you just feel really lonely, and I feel like a lot of times depression comes from loneliness. Like you said, you don't have too many friends. You can feel lonely. You don't know where you're going in life. Just understand that life is a very long thing. You can't predict what's going to happen. And depression is a really sad thing. It sucks. It sucks feeling alone. It sucks feeling down. But the biggest thing that I can say to that is that you can't fuel that depression, if you know what I mean. So if you find that your depression gets worse when you're at home by yourself, or when you're lonely, you don't see anyone, or anything like that, then I would challenge you to try and get out more. Go do things that make you happy. Don't sit at home and let that depression just grow and get worse, because for me, when I was down and wasn't doing too well, I would stay home a lot, and it just wasn't good, you know. So now I started going to lunch with people, and just I started rock climbing recently. I haven't dealt with depression in a while, or like loneliness. More so, I would say that it was loneliness that I dealt with that kind of felt like depression. But I started rock climbing recently, and it's been awesome. It gets me out of the house. It gets me around human beings, and it's great. So for you guys, if you're dealing with that, just know that, like, you do, to a certain extent, have a control over how it affects you. Like, you can't stop it from happening entirely, but you can handle how you approach it and how you respond to it. And hopefully in doing so, you can make it to where you no longer fuel it, but you know how to counter it, if you will. Next. I don't know what to do. I don't know what I want to do in life. Everything feels wrong. I didn't know what I wanted to do for a very long time. But one thing that I can say about life, again, is it's so good to just be where you're at, if that makes sense. Like, don't look too far ahead. Don't worry about the future. The Bible says that. I have a tattoo that talks about that. It talks about how, like, you shouldn't worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow has worries of its own. Today has its own worries. So when it comes to, I don't know what to do with my life, it's good to just be where you're at, to work hard where you're at, to try and find things that you like, and then the future will come. It's gonna come. The future is going to come. There's no rush. You don't need to get there immediately. And if you don't know what to do with your life, just find things that you enjoy, and then eventually you'll figure it out. Like, for me, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I liked building things, so I went to school for construction management, and then I was like, there's too much math in that. I can't do that. And so then I switched to broadcast journalism because I like talking like this. I wanted to be a broadcast journalist. And in pursuing that broadcast journalism, I took a class in graphic design, and I loved it, and that was what ended up being my major. And I got a job out of college doing graphic design, and I worked there for 3 years before becoming a YouTuber. And it still helps me today. The graphic design does, the broadcast journalism does. So just know that, like, you're not gonna figure out what you're gonna do right now. all I can say is work hard where you're at, and then the future will come. Some of these questions I've answered before, but I think it's still good to just talk about it for new people and for old people alike who may still be going through it. But this guy said that he's constantly being bullied. What do? You can't control other people's actions. You can't. All you can control is your own. And so I would never say fight fire with fire, which is a term that the world has kind of said, like, okay, if he's gonna bully me, I'm gonna bully him back. I don't think that that's really the way that it works. For me, I like to take the approach of, like the Bible says, to turn the other cheek. What that means is, like, okay, so he hits me right here, I'm gonna give him the other side. And what that's just saying is, like, don't take things, like for me, I translate that as, like, okay, like, no matter what you're gonna do, like, I'm not gonna respond negatively. So, all right, you want to continue bullying me? Go ahead. If you want to hit me here, you can hit me here as well. It's not gonna affect me. And if you guys want to see a really cool quote on that by Martin Luther King Jr., look up "Double Victory" by Martin Luther King Jr. It's a quote about how they dealt with racism and being abused, being bullied by white people and by other people, and the way that he approaches it is unbelievable. So my whole thing with bullying is, like, you can't do anything about it. All that you can do is not give them what they want. What they want is a response out of you. They're very insecure, they're not confident in who they are, and they want to feel strong, they want to feel cool, they want to feel all this, and if you don't let them feel strong, then they're going to go somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, if they're like, oh man, he's not responding like I want him to, this is boring, I'm gonna go somewhere else, you know? So don't let them see that it affects you. Just move on as best you can, and over time it'll get better. But I can guarantee you that fighting back, in my opinion and my experience, doesn't do anything. I was bullied a lot in middle school, and for me, you just suck it up and you move on, and honestly, it makes you a stronger person because of it, and helps build your confidence so that really you're more secure in yourself than that bully is. Next, your best friend is flirting with your crush. I laugh at that because I've been there before. Guys, you're gonna meet so many people in your life that you think are the one. I've probably met 4 of those that you're like, oh my gosh, this girl is amazing, like, she's definitely the one. Nah, she could be, but she's probably not. Let's be real. Let's be real. And I'm sure that your friends can speak to that, or other people in your life can just say, yeah, I've been there before. If you guys didn't know, I'm not with my old girlfriend that was on the vlogs. We haven't been together in 4 months or so, a very long time. And I thought she was it, and it sucked when we broke up, but after that, it was fine, you know? I was like, okay, I'm a better person because of this, and you move on. So in this scenario of your best friend is flirting with your crush, who cares, you know what I mean? Like, you like the girl, okay, so just continue liking her. If he wants to flirt with her and she flirts back, then okay, but if he flirts with her and she doesn't flirt back, then then that's funny, you know? Don't be mean to your friend, obviously, but all I can say about relationships as a whole, guys, is not to invest too much initially, you know? Like, so often you find someone that's like, they're really cool, they're really pretty, they're funny, oh my gosh, we laugh so much, and you just rush in. That's how I've always been. I rush into things. But I would say take it slow, you know, back up, set your mind, figure things out, and realize if this is supposed to work out, it's going to. And honestly, if I rush it, it's gonna make it worse. So that's what I would say about your best friend flirting with your crush. Don't worry about it, you know, whatever. I know that that's easier said than done if you really like someone, but I've been there before, and like, just wait it out, you know, and honestly, you'll be stronger because of it, and if you're supposed to be with her, you will be. Next one kind of goes along with that. You get friend zoned too much. You get friend zoned too much. I was there. I was always the nice guy. I had so many girlfriends, friends that were girls. I was always the nice guy, and I had a lot of friends that were females, and I would start to like some of them, and then it'd be like, oh no, like I like you better as friends. I know what that is. And it seems like girls always like the bad boys, whatever. That's because they're immature, okay? That's because the girls are immature and they like a chase. When you grow up, you don't want to find somebody like that, in my opinion. I don't want to find somebody that wants to turn a relationship into a game. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm going to be in a relationship with someone, be in a relationship with me. If you want to play a game, then get out of here. So for you that you get friend zoned too much, don't change yourself for someone else. If you change yourself for someone else, then they're not dating you. You know what I mean? So you might become one person so that you can get this girl, and she really likes that person, but inside you're like, man, I wish I could like joke about this, but I know she wouldn't laugh about that. Or I wish I could do this, but I know she doesn't enjoy that. And then you find yourself just changing yourself for that other person. So all I can say is just be yourself. And again, like I said earlier, don't rush in to things. Like, a lot of times you get friend zoned because you're like, oh my gosh, this girl likes me, I need to be really nice to her. And then you just like rush into it and you're like, here's flowers, here's chocolate from the corner store, here's all this kind of stuff. And it ends up just getting in the way, and you don't take things slow enough. Just, guys, take things slow. There's no need to rush life. There really isn't. There really isn't any need to rush life. And I've been learning that a lot lately, not to rush life. Don't rush life. You don't need to, okay? Next, this isn't a question, this is just kind of just something that I've been wanting to talk about that's really hit home with me a lot lately, is let's just talk about details, okay? So the word details, and how so often people just dive into the details and they rip them out, and they turn little things into huge things. You guys probably have noticed this with what's going on with Felix or PewDiePie. Like, people are looking at all these little things and they don't take the big context of it, and they just blow it up out of proportion. For me, like details just get in the way so much. It's like, wait, what did who say about who? Oh my gosh, let's talk more about it. And all that it does is create drama and negativity. Like, I just like things simple. I like things simple. Like, and you can pay attention to the details in life, like the sounds of the birds and the beautiful sky, girls, how pretty they are. You can pay attention to those kinds of details, but details that are negative and details that aren't uplifting are like, they're just so unnecessary. And so to that, guys, I would just say, like, embrace the simpleness of life. You know what I mean? Our minds are created so well, and they're so in depth, that when we start bringing all these details in, we start thinking about all this stuff, we start worrying, we start getting anxious, all this kind of stuff is happening, and our brains just get overloaded because of all these details that are unnecessary, and it creates all these problems, when really, if we could just release that and just be quiet and be still, whew, it makes a big difference. I've been doing that a lot lately. I've been going on a lot of walks. I'll record, I'll go on a walk, and then I'll come back and edit. And it helps me clear my mind a lot, just not paying attention to the details of anything. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really do. I like doing these. These are fun for me. I like talking. I like talking about my experiences. If you guys want to see more, leave a like on the video. And hashtag RealTalk down below. And again, guys, be nice, support each other. I'm not trying to preach forced positivity, because there's negativity in life. This world sucks. I understand that. But you can also, in the midst of those struggles, in the midst of that pain, you can find a way to approach it positively and still be sad, still deal with negative emotions, but handle the negativity positively. You know what I'm saying? Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see y'all in the next Real Talk. Peace.